falls under fair use as it's a parody. If you don't have a sense of humor, go fuck yourself. Welcome. Is this my reality? Is this your reality? This mother Tucker. In some realities, Tucker Carlson is the conservative golden boy. In my reality, Tucker Carlson is a fake, a fraud, and a gatekeeping phony. We've done some investigating. Stay with us, and you'll see.
Notion that Fox News and Tucker Carlson isn't a limited hangout. What he did to Gary Webb is unspeakable. Tucker Carlson just ran Gary Webb out of fucking journalism. Was a part of the group that ran him out of journalism. And now you're supposed to trust him? He's on Fox, bro. You really think he's giving you any of the inside scoop? No, they want you to tune into him so they can control that narrative.
Tucker Carlson is the hottest media personality in America right now. Carlson's appeal is that he presents himself as a maverick outsider, someone who thinks outside of the box, is not afraid to launch tirades against the powerful, criticize the government and its foreign policy. Certainly, it does surprise many people covering subjects that other cable news hosts do not touch. However, take a closer look. This populist everyman persona is all bullshit. Carlson himself has deep connections to the government and the national security state, and he works really, really hard to obscure the real centers of power. He channels the popular rage towards much safer targets. If you enjoy uncensored content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so we can do our best to fuck up the algorithm. Tucker, full name Tucker Swanson McNair Carlson, was born into a wealthy California family in 1969. He attended a number of private prep schools in California and New England. Here's where it starts to get interesting. Tucker's father, Richard Dick Carlson, of course his name is Dick, all right, is an important journalist and a high state official who was appointed by Ronald Reagan as the director of the U.S. Information Agency. All right, doesn't sound 1984 to me. This is the body that oversees government-funded media, including Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Radio and TV Marti, and The Voice of America, of which Dick was also the director. The USIA has since been replaced by the U.S. Agency for Global Media. It's just a creepy name. Together, these outlets are part of what the New York Times, yeah, even the New York Slimes, called it a worldwide propaganda network built by the CIA. Their goal is to bombard enemy countries with regime-changing propaganda. Look, until the 1970s, Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty was directly funded by the CIA. From his position as the head of the USIA, Dick's role in the United States' dirty hybrid war against Nicaragua can be reasonably surmised, but far few people know that a young Tucker also played a part. So get this. While still in college, Tucker and his roommate, friend, and Daily Caller co-founder Neil Patel went to Nicaragua at least twice, and in Tucker's own words, to get involved in the war and support the side that was right, which was not the Sandinista side. Yeah, this is exactly what journalists should do. They should pick a side. Jesus Christ. Even more questions are raised. When we look back, we saw that it was not long after his second trip to Nicaragua that Tucker formally applied to become a member of the CIA. We couldn't find much about this, but it is reported that after his apparent rejection, Dick suggested he take up journalism. Wink, wink, nod, nod. See, that's what they do. Yeah, you didn't make it into the CIA, but maybe we'll get you a job in journalism. You can help us out. Okay. Who's falling for that? Now, the CIA funded this dirty war against Nicaragua by helping the Contras to flood America's black urban centers with, crack cocaine. Remember that? The crack epidemic? This is the argument put forward by investigative journalist, aka The Truth, Gary Webb, in his Dark Alliance series for the San Jose Mercury News, and later in the book of the same name. The articles were widely republished and caused a storm of indignation across the country, with massive public anger being directed towards the CIA. Fortunately, back then, just like now, the CIA could count on the loyalty of many friendly journalists, among them Mother Tucker Carlson, who by 1996 was working for the neocon publication The Weekly Standard, a warmongering rag. In an article titled "A Disgraceful Newspaper Expose and Its Fans," Tucker launched a wall-to-wall defense of the CIA, which, by the way, he had recently applied to join. Did Tucker expose the truth? No, he's a gatekeeper. What did he do? He framed it all as a ludicrous accusation. He claimed that there was no evidence whatsoever for Webb's claims and presented the CIA as a noble institution under unfair scrutiny and constant attack from forces inside the U.S. that wanted to bring it down. Really, Tucker? Really? Why don't you tell that to JFK's brain?
One of the DEA's most wanted brought in thousands of kilos of cocaine to the U.S. every day. For them.
For who?
The U.S. government. Or with them. Or at least while they were looking the other way. Jesus.
Like we always say here at Not My Reality, you cannot make this shit up. Not only did G-Man Tucker Carlson attack Gary Webb personally, but he doubled down, protecting the CIA, saying, quote, "They are far from engaging in the drug trade." He claimed that there is an ample evidence that the CIA and its officials have moved to remove drug traffickers from the Nicaraguan resistance. An interesting choice of words to describe the Contras. Now, the CIA, they were extremely thankful to Carlson for helping muddy the waters and shooting the messenger. A declassified CIA document cites his Weekly Standard article, among others, as aiding them in managing a nightmare. Yeah, you bring in drugs, you put it in the community, and then you arrest people for it. And that might bother people, just saying. So now as we see this Mother Tucker about to cash in on a $100 million contract from somewhere after being removed from Fox. I don't even know where this money comes from. $100 million for what? But I digress. Now, on the other hand, Gary Webb was ruined. He was subject to huge campaign, sully his name, drag him through the mud, to basically hound him out of journalism. He faced intense scrutiny and criticism from the national security state. And in 2004, get this one, he was found in his home in California with two, not one, but two bullets in his head. And his death, of course, was officially ruled a suicide. What did he do? He shot himself in the head and then was able to pick up the gun and shoot himself in the head? You'd be surprised how many people that speak against the government shoot themselves in the head twice. So this is how Tucker is fooling everybody. Despite his family's wealth, his close connections with the deep state, the CIA, he has convinced millions that he's on their side. Yet Tucker Carlson is no threat to the establishment. None whatsoever. In fact, this Mother Tucker is one of their greatest assets. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for coming. Hope you see the truth now. Now get the fuck out of here.